You know what that weird ass music means. It can only mean one thing. It's Frankly Fabulous time. Yay! You ain't country. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. That's right. It's the Frankly Fabulous show. We're back. Monday, May 3rd. It's an overcast day in New York City. We're reopening everything. It's a societal enema. Just get it all open. Andrew Cuomo, the governor everybody fucking hates. Sexually harassy, handsy piece of shit. Overly macho. Blood on his hands. Hid the numbers in the nursing homes. The true death toll we don't even know. Badly fumbled the pandemic. He's told us that the numbers are looking good. The positivity rate, I guess, is 1.94%. So we're going with a full reopen. Everything. Theaters. They said, I don't know, they said Broadway, maybe. I mean, it already kind of feels that. I went to fucking Yankee Stadium yesterday. I'm a Yankee fan now. What can I say? I said it on video. I did feel an affinity with the fans. Their fans were surprisingly, like, angry and loud and negative. For being, like, the biggest winners of all time in any sport. Like, the Yankees have won more championships in their sport than anybody, by far, I think, right? Like, they're definitely the elite. They are the premier franchise, I would say, in all of sports, I would say. The New York Yankees, right? I mean, Babe fucking Ruth, for Christ's sake. DiMaggio. Yogi Berra. I guess Yogi Berra has the most World Series. Joe DiMaggio has 9, Yogi Berra has 10. So I'm like, why the fuck didn't they name a freeway after Yogi Berra? You know, Joe DiMaggio is from San Francisco, basically. He's just Californian. Should be the Yogi Berra, you know, highway or whatever it is. But he, you know, Yogi Berra, he's the true Zen master. The way he fucks everything up in just like these totally genius ways. He's the catcher. And, you know, how tall is that guy? Yogi Berra's got to be 5'2" or 5'3" or something, and yet, I don't know. It's all up here, I guess. But, yeah, that spirit was still very much alive there. That kind of Bronx bomber spirit. I don't know, should I wax philosophical on the Yankees, the meaning of the Yankees? I kind of recapped the game already, but I had a first date. This girl was super nice. She invited me. It was very generous of her to it was really nice seats. It was in the front row, literally the front row by the right field foul pole. So we're right in the short porch. We're right in that little alley between the foul. She was on TV. She was on the Yes Network the other day. Her and her dad, they have season tickets. And she drives. She's got a car. She's a little smart car. So we were right by the judge. The judge, I don't know. That's the only thing I even know about the fucking Yankees right now is the judge. He's 6'8". He hit 57 home runs his rookie year. The all-time record was like 29 or something for rookie year. And the judge just like completely doubled it. And he seemed really nice. Like we were sitting right near him. He seemed cool. You know, he's super tall. He's super just perfect. You know, like he should be The Rock. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, our next president. My favorite wrestler when I was in 7th grade. I had Rock t-shirts. They're probably worth a lot of money now. I was on the Rock thing really early. I was an excellent talent scout in the 90s. I could always tell, like Tenacious D, I was on Tenacious D way before anybody. I was downloading their shit off Napster. And The Rock, same thing. When did I first get into The Rock? SummerSlam. He did the ladder match with Triple H. I think that was 97. I watched it on scrambled pay-per-view. I couldn't even watch it. It was just like, just the audio. SummerSlam. That was, I think, right after Mick Foley got thrown off the Hell in a Cell. I think that was King of the Ring. That's when I got into wrestling. July. It was right around when Rodman and Jay Leno, or whoever the fuck, Karl Malone, wrestled with Hulk Hogan and Jay Leno in Sturgis, South Dakota, site of the apocalyptic Mark of the Beast COVID outbreak. 2020. Fast forward to 2020. Who'd have thought that this outdoor professional wrestling event with Jay Leno and Eric Bischoff was going to be the harbinger of... Sounds plausible to me. I mean, the Four Horsemen, right? Maybe they are. Maybe Ric Flair is like... Are they actually the Four Horsemen? It's possible. Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson. You know, there's been way more than Four Horsemen. There's been at least 40, I'd say. There's 40 Horsemen. Dean Malenko was in the Four Horsemen. Steve Mongo McMichael. And then he was in Evolution. That was sort of like a triad. Randy Orton and Triple H. Come on, man. That's who fucking... Flair is going to, like, anoint. Give me a break. I think he just wanted to stay relevant. Like, Flair is a player. He just wants to be in the game. He's just happy to be there. He'll fit in anyway. He's just a worker. That's why he's so great, because he's such an epic, like, Titanic, like, Chaplin-esque, Babe Ruth-esque kind of figure. He is the greatest of all time. And yet, he walks amongst us. Flair's in rap music videos and just, like, on fucking Twitter and shit. Still doing it. He'd still wrestle if they fucking... if they let him, if they could get insured. But he's a worker, you know, even though he's like this, like, huge figure, he's just like... Flair's got 4 moves. Speaking of, well, anyway, I won't go into Flair. I could do 90 hours on Flair. Flair is like one of the all-time figures, you know. I don't know. Is he maybe he's not the Babe Ruth of wrestling. Maybe that's fucking, I don't know, Hogan or Bruno Sammartino or some shit like that. I say, or who's Inaki, Antonio Inaki, or Flair was international. He was the world jet set, going to all the territories and shit. He was reliable. He's a workhorse. I don't know. It feels kind of weird to... I don't know. I'm trying to embrace winning. Like, you'd think, I don't know, a lot of the people that I've known in New York were Mets fans. I actually really haven't known any Yankees fans, to be honest. Like, everybody I know who went to baseball stuff went to Mets games. I knew people that had season tickets to Mets games and who listened to the Mets. But, I don't know, to be a Yankee fan, you gotta be a special... kind of alpha, I think. Like, but living in Manhattan, now I feel licensed. It makes sense to me the Yankees are here. Like, if baseball is sort of, you know, the way the salary system has worked since free agency, at least, is very capitalistic. Although the Yankees have kind of a divine... Like, a lot of these people played, like, DiMaggio. Did Mickey Mantle? He never played for anybody else. A lot of their players, it was just like they were Yankees for life. Yogi Berra, did he ever fucking play for anybody else? I mean, Billy Martin was all over the place. But Jeter, of course, you know, like, never played for fucking... Mariano Rivera, I don't think he played for anybody else. Judge, right? He's been a Yankee. But, like, they buy up all the best players. They get Johnny Damon. being a Cleveland fan, I won't use their name. They're always buying the Indians' best players. You know, whoever is the best pitcher on the Sabathia. I mean, the Indians are like the farm team, basically, for the Yankees. Whoever, they always have like these kind of Cy Young pitchers that end up on the fucking Yankees. But like the Yankees, they just spend money. They just buy the best players. And so they win an obscene amount of championships, and it kind of makes sense. Like, it's New York. It's the center of capitalism. It's the greatest city in the world. It's the world heavyweight champion of fucking, like, center of American empire, let's say, and everything that represented. The West. You know, America, Europe, the United Nations is here. It makes sense that the Yankees are the best fucking team. By far. And just whoop all the other teams' asses. I don't know. It isn't just that they have the best talent. It's like there is like magic shit that happens because of Yankees shit. You know, I hate it because I mean they're buying up all the best players, it's true. But they have a will to win, and they're just the integrity of the totemistic quality of the Yankees holds it together. The pinstripe, it's iconic. The pinstripes, you know, this fucking stadium, everything. It's simple. They haven't gone through a bunch of weird logo changes and shit. They don't even really have a mascot, I don't think. Like I don't remember seeing any kind of. You know, they didn't make their ballpark just one of these fucking amusement parks. Like all these other stadiums got like a fucking choo-choo train, like a water slide, and like a ball pit, and a roller coaster, and an Indiana Jones live action spectacular show. Not Yankee Stadium. It's like they got the judges' chambers, I guess, where they give you a robe and a gavel and a wig. And they have the Audi fucking members lounge and shit. The Pepsi members only. We didn't get to check that out, unfortunately. But I don't know. I gotta say it was kind of it didn't feel like I do it's one of the biggest regrets of my life not seeing a game at the old Yankee Stadium. In the new stadium, it's like a hybrid of kind of the old architecture and the old like facade. It's like a gentrified fucking stadium. It's kind of amazing the way they did it, actually. Because the interesting thing is the old stadium, now there's like baseball fields there. Kids are fucking playing baseball and shit. There's like a softball league and like a little league. Like, because it's like they had this plot of land. It's literally in the same fucking place. It's right off the train. I went up there in 2004 when they had the old stadium. And it's like, here was the old stadium. They built a replica almost exactly, except they made it bigger, I think. It's a little bigger. And they've, you know, it's got all new. I don't know what the old concession stands and shit were like, but the new one felt kind of corporate ballparky to some extent. I think they were doing vaccines there. Get vaccinated at Yankee Stadium. And they just tore the old one down. Like how New York. Fucking, you know, 100 years. Babe Ruth, the house that Ruth built. All these players, all these memories, DiMaggio, all of it. They just tore it the fuck down. It's insane to me. Like, Fenway Park's still there. To me, they didn't need to do that. That was very fucking. There's a lot of old baseball parks. Wrigley Field. That's part of what's special about the game. It's like the fucking Coliseum or something, you know? Just leave it there for 2,000 years. It's fucking Yankee Stadium, for Christ's sake. Build another one, sure, but keep it. Why tear it down? It's insane. It's totally insane. It's just a crime. That's New York. They tear everything the fuck down. That's life, I guess. Sooner or later, everything's up in ruins, but just a rubble heap. It's nice that there's these nice baseball fields. I thought that was kind of poetic. Steinbrenner. Well, okay, she was telling me that 2010 to 2020 was the first decade the Yankees have not won a World Series. That ain't good. That's, and I was looking at it, Steinbrenner died 2010. I gotta attribute it to, like, his will. I don't know. We didn't really, I was trying to, like, kind of talk to her and relate to her about baseball and Yankees, and Columbus Clippers were the farm team for the Yankees because Steinbrenner went to college at Ohio State. So the Clippers were literally the AAA farm team for the New York Yankees. So, like, Jeter played for the Clippers for a brief period before he got called up. When I was a kid, there was kind of a media hoopla in Columbus because the Yankees had Darryl Strawberry at that point. This was like 95 or something, 96. It was like a comeback. And Darryl Strawberry played for the Mets, so he's like a New York, you know, he's a beloved New Yorker, absolutely. Fucking Darryl Strawberry, hell yeah. So it was kind of a sentimental, he kind of went to the Yankees. I think it was 96 maybe. And he was good, but they sent him down to the minors, or he went up. So Darryl Strawberry played in Columbus at fucking Cooper Stadium for a few games. In, I think we went. I remember seeing it on the news. I feel like we went. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. I feel like we went. We went to a bunch of Clippers games as kids. Going to a baseball game is fucking great. Highly recommended. I mean, she had season tickets, so I'm not really sure how much it costs to go to a game, but it's so relaxing. It's just like, you can sit, have a conversation, get some sun. I mean, because of coronavirus, it was kind of a fucking weird time, obviously, because it was only, I think they said 25% filled or something. It was, like, pretty empty, which, like, Yankee Stadium is not like that, ever, you know? It felt, I don't know, being a Clippers fan and going to Cooper Stadium, that's not unusual to me. Like, being in a stadium that's like 20% full, or, you know. These seats had cushions on them and shit. You know, Cooper Stadium, it's like a metal fucking chair. It's cold. But it was probably not quite the same experience, obviously, as like a typical Yankee. I mean, it's a big stadium, you know. It holds a lot of people, like... it felt a little bit like an exhibition game or like spring training or something, even. No, I mean, it was awesome. It was very quick. It was only like a 2-hour game. Like, it was over pretty quick. Maybe the players were all hungover and they just wanted to get it over with, but the Yankees won. I don't know. Like I said, because I live here, because I live in Manhattan really feels like, okay, this is number one. This is like the tenderloin. This is the filet. This is the Chateaubriand. It's the Empire State Building. This is fucking King Kong. This is like, you have to be the best. That's the idea with New York, is you have to be the fucking best, right? Like, it's competitive. It's capitalism. It's Titanic. It's... And I don't know. I mean, it's just like the lore and the storied history, just the players. It's like a destiny thing. Like I said, Mickey Mantle. It's every fucking decade. Reggie Jackson. I mean, DeLillo's got baseball shit. I guess he's like a Yankee fan. I always see DeLillo at Yankee games. There's always like pictures of him being harassed or whatever, disturbed by strangers. Hey, he's sitting with Paul Auster. Paul Auster is his cool literary friend. They're both, I mean, it was the Bronx. I didn't really get to check it out that much, but as you can imagine, the area surrounding is like super trashy sports bars that are like, you know, Yankee themed in awesome ways, big murals. It's dope. It's dope as fuck. Like, I would go regularly. If I had season tickets, I would go regularly. Like, let's listen to fucking Ferlinghetti baseball canto. He's talking about reading Ezra Pound while he's watching the Giants. You could take a book to the game and sit there by yourself. Absolutely, it's pastoral. It's a big yard. It's grass. It's leaves of grass. It's a genteel pastime. You know, it's not this aggro, pseudo warfare. Give everybody brain trauma and totally, juice them out. Like, wasn't there an NFL guy that killed a bunch of people the other day? He killed like 5 people. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember baseball players. Jose Canseco is pretty cool on Twitter. You should definitely follow him. I love Jose. My favorite, I'm not surprised, my favorite player growing up, when he was on the A's, Jose Canseco was my number one. I don't know why. I liked Ricky Henderson. I like Dennis Eckersley. For whatever reason, I like the colors, the A's. I was on the A's. That maybe, I think that was after I was like into them though. I like the green and the yellow. It's a good combo. Yeah, I can't think of any baseball players off the top of my head that went nuts or anything. I don't know. It's a cool. I mean, it is kind of like the nerdy, like Ken Burns. Like, oh, you're gonna get into jazz. You're gonna get into baseball. You're gonna get into Civil War. All these stupid, like, I don't know, American history. My English teacher in high school, it was like anything Ken Burns made a documentary about. He like developed like a hobby around that. Like he was really into baseball, like fucking listening to baseball on the radio, following baseball. The tradition of it is kind of a nerdy, the stats, the lineage, but it's cool. It's important. I like that. I like it. I it's a relaxed interest. Like I could really, now that I live in a city with Major League Baseball teams, and I don't know, for whatever reason in Brooklyn, it doesn't really get out as much. It's harder to get to the stadiums. Like I said, I knew one of my roommates would listen to the Mets on the radio religiously. He was a Mets fan. He grew up in the West Village, incidentally. But, like, the people I knew that went to games, lived in Queens, or I don't really, for as long as I lived in New York, I don't really hear about people going to Yankee games ever amongst my friend group, hardly. But we all live in Brooklyn. I knew people that, like, kind of go see Brooklyn Cyclones, the minor league thing, which is cool. But now that I'm in the heart of the empire, I feel like I can be a Yankee fan, Maybe I'll start to go to the fucking games and shit. It's one of those things I think that really, I mean, it's the Bronx and it's Manhattan. Like I said, I didn't really feel a lot of Yankee pride. I mean, it's there too. It is everywhere in New York, but like, the fans seem just as bitter. The environment around it was as low vibration as any sports team I've ever been around. Like, the areas around stadiums, it's all a bunch of bars, and they're kind of cool, but like, people are drunk and like, as you're getting off the train, it starts to coalesce. All the people in jerseys, people start yelling about, yeah, fucking Yankees. They start yelling about it. Let's go Yanks. As you're sort of zombie walking, it is like a cultish zombie walking to the stadium. Everybody in their jerseys, getting ready to get drunk. Get aggro. Get belligerent, get vocal. That was one of the cool things about being there at 25% capacity is the baseball players could really hear your constructive criticism in a very personal. They could hear you. Which is more like that's why we went to Clippers games a lot of times, was just to yell at the guys, just to be like, yeah, you're a bum. That's why you're playing AAA. Because you got a 5.8 ERA. It's a small stadium. It's intimate. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Did this feel intimate? Kind of. It felt like being at like Huntington Park. Huntington Park is like the stadium they built for the Clippers downtown. Like it's the Gentrify Stadium. Cooper Stadium was like a municipal stadium. It was out in a bad part of town, like by the like auto tow yard, like the fucking like impound lot. Like I said, steel. It wasn't like some corporate boxes, and you could see the radio guy up there. It was cool. It felt like a public institution. Then Huntington Park, that was like a bank rolled it. Super modern concessions, super modern facilities, luxury boxes. It was in downtown in a cool kind of gentrify neighborhood. I'm gonna sit down. Or do I want to keep standing? Maybe I'll keep standing for a second. We're talking about baseball. I love baseball as a kid, man. Maybe I'll get back into it. Maybe I'll follow it. I don't know. If I could listen to it on the radio, if I could figure that out, I would do that. Maybe have it on while I'm eating or something and just kind of follow it online. I don't see myself like going out of my way to like watch the games per se. Although, who knows, I think following it through the standings is kind of like being a sports fan. Reading about it, I think, is a way of being committed and like, I know enough about sports to be conversant. I didn't really know their lineup that specifically, obviously, but I knew enough of the players to sort of be conversant, I was really into it as a kid, like every fucking American cliche. Like, I was, I thought I was going to be a professional baseball player, like Ken Griffey Jr., that was my favorite video game, I'd say, as a kid. Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball for Super Nintendo. Definitely one of my favorites. Should we, let me light some incense ceremonially here. Do I have a lighter? Moving into phase 2 of the Frankly Fabulous Talk Show. Yeah, I just want to do some pre-taped live streaming. I haven't, I need to keep up with this. Some incense here. Courtesy of our producer. Maybe I'll read some poetry just to sort of get the topics. 5-1, Lebanon, Kansas. The exact center. Embrace naturalism. Trout fishing in America. So supposedly Lebanon, Kansas is the exact continental center. This is where Bruce Springsteen did his Super Bowl commercial. We want to meet in the middle after Trump They don't want to meet us in the middle. The fucking alt-right people, the fascists, do not want to meet us in the middle. They want to win. They want to clobber us. There's no compromising with that. With people who want there to be winners and losers. So we don't need to meet in the middle. They need to come to their senses. Trout fishing in America. Saucy, 4:30. It's already May somewhere, but not here. It's tempestuous late April. Sparrow graces us with rusty moon. We ingest large percentages of microplastics. Oh well, life goes on. Buds peeking out, sprouts breaking from the floor, glints of nascent life. Jack's wife Freda, patio full with diners. We ingest large percentages of microplastics. Supposedly, because we use so much fucking plastic. There's plastic, the water, I drink is in fucking plastic. Supposedly, like birds, right? Birds are just like completely fucking just stuffed. They're like taxidermied with fucking plastic bottles and caps and shit. Supposedly this is happening to us because we eat out of plastic containers, plastic forks, so we're ingesting little bits of plastic, little microplastic. And I think it's one of the reasons why men are going sterile, because of these microplastics in our systems are making us impotent. They're castrating us with plastic. It's a neutral castration. Lush life, 429. Waiting around for packages. The trumpet player liked to toot his own horn. Father's eyes staring out of mother's head. I am ready to inseminate you with my observation. Syllable Tetris. Maybe reality isn't real. $4.28. Crazy game of poker. Crazy game of poker. Cliche of relaxation. Cliche of party. Cliche of spa. It was not long ago there was a bar on Avenue A had a mechanical bull. Slew of pure rural rich farmers cajoled and spoiled. The magazine rack is the library of the grocery store. I mean, isn't the magazine rack the best part of the fucking grocery? It's the literature. But I never go there as an adult. It's what you do when you're a little kid. Oh, fucking dad's shopping. I'm going to go look at the magazines. I'm going to go read Mad Magazine. I think Mad Magazine was my primary favorite. One time at, I don't know if it was Big Bear or Giant Eagle at that point, on 5th Avenue in Grandview, we were at the magazine rack, and this guy, like the store cop or whatever, came over and like gave us this like, this ain't a library. Seriously. It was like, are you insane, man? Like, we're not hurting anybody. We're just reading the fucking magazines. Like, this is literacy. I don't know. It's before the internet, especially, magazines were like, I don't know, very glamorous. There was like, they were more current but glossy. It was a high quality image, better than a newspaper. More in-depth journalism. Now the internet kind of has combined both. It's sort of like a magazine and a newspaper. It's got a little bit of gloss and a little bit of that kind of paparazzi instant but high quality aesthetic. But it's also like a newspaper. It's fast. It's immediate. It's 24/7. It's a news fucking machine. So fucking in Grandview there was this magazine store. That was like the greatest thing that ever happened on Grandview Avenue, where, you know, it was mostly like yuppie restaurants. I guess the post office was there. There was nothing that cool, really. Salons. There was this place called the Wooden Putter, which was like a fucking golf, like collectible golf, like really expensive, like golf Hummels and trinkets and weird shit, like just golf, decorative golf, fucking like interior, you know, furniture and clothes, and it was like fucking golf clothes and shit from like the 20s and 30s or something, like Bobby Jones, like Nouveau Bobby Jones. The Wooden Putter. Grandview Avenue was kind of far away from where we lived, so as a smaller kid, it wasn't, we couldn't like go there of our own. Even riding our bikes there, it was like, okay, it's a little far. The cars go kind of fast. So I couldn't really get to the Wooden Putter as much as I probably would have liked when I was obsessed with golf. But just like, what a terrible... I'm sure all of those people were George W. Bush voters twice, you know. And they've degraded into Trumpers. They've degenerated over time. It's gone downhill from there. If they survived. They've decomposed. In the flesh. They've decomposed incarnationally. The Wooden Putter. But they opened this magazine store. There was Grinders, where my first girlfriend worked, where they, you know, you get a 12-inch fucking sub with cheese and chicken or whatever and pasta sauce. Basically just get a bowl of pasta with chicken on a fucking sandwich at Grinders. It's like a pizza sandwich, essentially. And then next to that was the Wooden Putter, which was like the ultimate old people, George Prescott Bush, the Scioto Country Club people, the Upper Arlington, whatever. And then there was the magazine store, which opened. I don't even know if it had a name. What the fuck was the name of that place? It was like a newsstand. And they had all these wrestling magazines. Holy shit. Like I said, it was before, there were no smartphones. Believe it or not. That was far off. That was far into the future. You know, the smartphone really is a magazine, sort of. Whereas, like this, like you go, and they had an entire rack of fucking wrestling magazines. They had Professional Wrestling Illustrated, all the WWF magazines. You know, for whatever reason, there's a huge industry of color pull-out magazines of 80s, you know, beefed out, peroxide blonde, husky kind of wrestler dudes. You need full color posters of those guys for some reason. So there were shitloads of wrestling magazines. So I went into that big time. That was very educational. Video, I mean, I don't know if I really read the video game magazines, but they had those, of course. I don't know if I was really on, you know, Maxim always kind of freaked me out. Maxim was like, I mean, I liked it, but there's no way I could have that in my house. It was too Axe body spray. It was too sexual. Like, basically, my brother and I, we denied that sex existed, I'd say, until we were out of high school. At least, you know, in our home. We shared a room. We had bunk beds and shit. So, like, if there was anything even suggestively sexual on TV, we'd change the channel, you know. Except for wrestling. Wrestling, it was okay to, what is that, displace our, our sexual, interest or whatever onto wrestling. Not that, wrestling was not, obviously it was not overtly sexual. It was unconsciously. But it's not really sexual. It's anatomical and it's sort of positions. But sublimated. We were sublimating our whatever. I don't know why I like. Well, I've gone into why I like wrestling. It's not important. But the magazine store was like the magazine rack. New York is a big, GQ or Esquire. They seem like, oh my god, this is like what fancy, Mad Men are wearing and shit. Nobody in Ohio looks like that. Nobody wears that shit. Everybody's wearing warm-up clothes and shit. Crazy game of poker. That's, I don't know. Do I want to go into OAR? Maybe OAR is not actually funny. Or OAR was a band. Oh, God. This is going to be a whole thing. I don't know if I really need to. I mean, this could be a whole episode about OAR and sort of their significance and offshoots and lineage. I don't know if they're really a big... They played Madison Square Garden. The video's on YouTube. Check it out. Believe it or not. These frat bros from Big Ten, Columbus, Ohio. Just the most boring, uninteresting acoustic bullshit. T-chord formation band. Reggae. They're like very, very, very like frat. Reggae. But in my hometown of Columbus, Ohio, they were from there, but they were big. They were national. Like I said, they played Madison Square Garden. Like, I don't know if they were really, like, I don't know. Were they on... They were maybe, like, college popular. They're sort of, like, on that circuit. God, I'm just, like, I don't know. For whatever reason, just, like, the most bland people. They're like a Jimmy Buffett, like, starter. Like, if you're going to be a parrot head later in your life, you're probably going to be into OAR. It's like parrot heads for, like, 19-year-old just fucking dweebs. Just your most fratted out, like, cargo short, ankle sock, hairless calves, pop collar, maybe. They're like a really, really degraded form of like 311 or Dave Matthews Band, sort of. They're kind of like real, but they're white reggae. And they're just, it's a white, and it's a dude's playing acoustic. God, it sounds like acoustic players at like tailgating parties and shit that I went to, or not that I went to, but that I was exposed to. In my horribly deprived youth. Which was just a cultural barrage of bullshit. And they were, they were huge. So, like, all these people I grew up with that were, like, golf people who went to state schools, red Solo Cup, beer ponging ass, conch necklace. They had conch shell, and they had that haircut that was like a fucking, like, shroomed out from, like, their hat that they never took off. That, like, dandelion or whatever the fuck. Mushroom head. Swoop. The emo swoop was really just a variation of that. These are just varying degrees of suburban. They were on the golf team, all these fucking kids. I don't know. They didn't even like music. These were people that did not even like music. It's the utter absence of taste. It's like my furniture is all, I live in some kind of awful apartment complex with a gym, 24-hour gym, or It's a totally dehumanized nightmare. They're literally just stacking human lives into these like styrofoam apartments. But there's a pool in the complex. People whose like main hobby is like drinking. We're gonna go to a bar, we're gonna watch the game, we're gonna drink. We're gonna go to a sit in a pool and drink. We're gonna go to the beach and drink. They're into OAR. They have no taste. They don't care about that. But they have Bob Marley posters. Maybe they did psychedelics. Is this thing fucking up? Do I need to close this? Let me close this real fast. I need to close John Cassavetes' Husbands, my DVD player. Hopefully that is going to take care of the lag. Hopefully we're not lagging out here. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out. So, yeah, OAR, do I need to... Of a Revolution. Their name is like this secret code thing where, like, it's like ... of a revolution. There's, like, some other word. So, OAR is just, like, the end of their band name. And so, like, all the guys in the band know what the real word is, but they have to keep it a secret. And, like, at a certain point, they were going to, like, tell everybody what the other word was. They're, like, Rage Against the Machine for, like, people that work at Nationwide Insurance. Maybe Rage Against the Machine is Rage Against the Machine for people that work at Nationwide Insurance. But OAR is definitely Rage Against the Machine for people who work at Nationwide Insurance and are, like, satisfied. Like, yeah, I play golf with my buds. Dude, OAR kicks ass. They fucking kick ass, dude. They slay ass. They rock so fucking hard. Like, people would turn out for this fucking band. And I was just, like, growing up, I'm, like, surrounded by these people. It's like, what did I do wrong in my life that I'm, like, the only people I can find to hang out with are, like, into this shit. Like, this is the least aesthetic thing imaginable. And yet, this is prevalent in the land of my origin. And I just won't stand for it. I'm not an OAR. I'm not into Dave either. Maybe I'll get into Dave. He's kind of weirdly, I don't know, like he does have his own style. It's a little bit wine festival to me. He sounds a little bit like smooth jazz in a way. I don't know. He's like at the Catalina wine mixer. Dave Matthews. He's like the Kenny G of Grateful Dead's. Analogies are great. They're just a great way to just shortcut the Dave Matthews. He's the Kenny G of Grateful Dead's. He kind of picked up part of that kind of like endless tour, and people who are Dave fans will just go to all of the fucking shows. He'll play twice in one town and people will go to, to every show, I think in Columbus he'd play like 2 shows a day for a couple days. So there was like potentially 4 Dave Matthews shows, and people I knew would go to multiple. I don't know. I'm sure that there is, but I'm not really aware of like Dave YouTube bootlegging. Like, is there shitloads of Dave Matthews? Is every Dave Matthews concert available online? Probably. Maybe I should get into Dave. I like, of the 90s bands that were going on at that time, I would say he was probably one of the least shitty. At least that was my perception of it. When I was in 5th grade, 95, we had to fill out this booklet that was like, we had to interview everybody in the class and ask them questions about like favorite color, favorite food, favorite song. And a lot of, well, not that many people put Dave Matthews Band, but cool people. Like my friend Zach Kreitz, he put down Dave Matthews Band. I was like, okay. Most of the shit I just thought sucked. Like, a lot of people put down Aerosmith. And a lot of people liked Boyz II Men, which in retrospect, Boyz II Men is a good choice. I think Boyz II Men is a phenomenal band. They don't get nearly enough credit. Like, they had some unbelievably classic fucking songs. Of all the shit that happened in the 90s, I'd say Boyz II Men was fucking classic. To me, to be honest, like, I'd say Boyz II Men, I mean, not to compare, but I'd say they were, like, equal to, like, a Motown thing in the 90s. Motown Philly, you know? Like, they were great. They had great songs. They had great harmonies. Their recordings sound really fucking 90s in a way that, like, I hated it at the time, but now I recognize are, like, super dope. And time-stamped. Like, they're kind of MIDI sounding, some of them. Into the Road is a fucking classic goddamn song. I was really disappointed that Bob didn't use it in his beginning, middle, and end show. Or one of his shows. It's a great song. It's just a well-written... That could be a doo-wop song. That song could have been released in any decade. And it's great, you know. It's my Boyz II Men rant. I was into them. They were on kind of when I was into baseball. Like the early 90s. 93, 94, 95, 92. The Indians got good, and then the strike happened, naturally. Or the Cleveland baseball team with the racist name that they somehow have had for over 100 fucking years. I mean, clearly I just did not really have I didn't really get that far in baseball. I think I quit. Jack tried to do baseball in 7th grade because it went from being Little League to like a school thing. And Jack went to baseball practice when he was in 7th grade. And he was like, he quit. He was like, they make you run all these laps. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not running. I can't run. You know, like, that was when we sort of detoured into low impact, low effort sports, I would say. That's when I started playing golf, chess, a few years later, tennis, bowling, and just stopped playing baseball, to be honest. I've hardly played baseball at all. It's kind of sad, really. We a bunch of kids in our neighborhood, it was like a latchkey kid. It was like the fucking 20s or something, where it was like we'd get kids together from the neighborhood. We had sort of our scrappy equipment that we kind of just like scrounged together. Like, how the fuck do you get a baseball when you're 8 years old? Like, you got to go to a store and buy a baseball? Like, forget it. Forget it. How are you going to get to a store? Like, you can't walk to a fucking store. Like, so if one of us managed to get a ball, like, you had a few different gloves of varying quality, and I had a really good Dale Murphy softball glove. That was just, it had a huge basket. I don't know if that was even legal, to be honest, because it just had a huge basket. That was a great glove, a great fielding glove. That made my career. It had great, you know, net in there. But we had some other cool ones. I had like a glove from like the 20s, like one of those fucking like Babe Ruth, like Lou Gehrig, that's like just these big fat fingers. And like a super small pocket. And it's just like, what the fuck? This thing's useless. Like, the ball would pop out of this. It's like a fucking overinflated fucking jelly donut or something. It's like, it's like a super basted turkey. It's just like, this thing's gonna pop. I love that glove, but it was more kind of like a, you know, nostalgia museum piece. It was like an artifact. And then I had catcher's equipment. I wanted to be a catcher. I don't know if I'm really made for that, to be honest. As a catcher, you got to be kind of a shithouse. You know, you got to be squatting all the time. And you're the kind of team leader. And goddamn, you're like right in there with the batter and shit. It's like, What if you get hit with a bat? And then people are running you down at home plate. Like, I don't know what. I'm like a second baseman, maybe. I wasn't really. I don't know. I don't know if I was actually that good at baseball. But my friend Jake lived. He lived a few buildings down from us, and a bunch of kids. Brandon, Ricky, Byron Rutland, a legend. And just various other kids would kind of show up from time to time. Neil Alvarado, he was really good. I think his family was immigrants, maybe somewhere in Central America. He was really good at soccer too. He couldn't play that much. He had to do other stuff. His parents were kind of like. So we'd normally be able to get like 4 or 5 kids, maybe. It was sad that we couldn't get, because we wanted to play baseball so fucking bad, And there were 2 trees right in front of Neil Alvarado's back. There were like porches with these wooden fences. And there just happened to be these, because it was this weird, it was called the electric field. It was right next to our house in this apartment complex on Quay. And they called it the electric field because the electric company owned it, I think. They had a thing across the street. We lived across the street from the fucking American Electric Power. So God knows what effect that has had on us, biologically or whatever. But next to us was this field that supposedly was like a grove of trees. Like when we learned the history of Grandview, they said something about it used to be like, kind of dip, and there were all these trees in it, and like they said that gypsies and people in like wagons and shit like lived there in this grove of trees. And then sometime in, I don't even know, the 60s maybe, who knows, the electric company bought it. And I don't know, they cut down all the trees and they filled it in with like all this old fucking like equipment and shit, like probably all these old like spools and wires, and they filled it in with like concrete. So like certain parts of the electric field had like little like jutting up parts of concrete, that were like kind of unnatural. They weren't like rocks, or they weren't like, in New York you see granite or whatever kind of shooting up. This was like concrete, like poured, like a fucking bottom of a sidewalk or something, just like kind of sticking up. Not a lot, like a scab almost. Just like in the grass there'd be like a little bit of concrete. So that was like first base. There were a couple pieces of concrete, like first and second base, that were like lined up pretty nicely and made a nice diamond. Even though Neil Alvarado's parents didn't really like us using their fence as a backdrop, it was kind of loud. And in fact, one time I hit a foul ball that like broke this seashell wind chime they had. We had just started playing, and we had a good group of guys, and I was up to bat, and they pitched, and I hit it, and foul ball right back over my head. All we hear is hit this fucking wind chime, and it broke or something, and I just book it. I just ran home. I ran home and I locked myself in the apartment. I didn't want to face any consequences for that. I guess not much has changed. So we kind of had to reorient our field slightly. We would sometimes use it the other way. First base would be home plate, second base would be first base, and we'd be facing. But we had no backstop. So, having a backstop, you didn't need a catcher. You just needed a pitcher and a guy in the field. Then you could have one guy batting and maybe one guy on base or whatever. So you could play with, 4 guys or 4 people. We didn't, one time I think we got maybe like 10 or 12 people. Dave was dating my mom. That was really early on. He played. He was like good at baseball when he was in high school and shit. He was like a prospect. It was a glorious day. having like 10, 12 kids playing baseball out there. And then later, when I was like in 6th grade, after our dad had moved in, they turned the electric field, which was a big piece of ground. I mean, it was like probably 20 acres or something. I don't know, 10 acres. It was a few football fields in size. You know, I'd say it was like 4 football fields, or maybe even more. Maybe 6. Maybe not that big. Maybe 4. We would go out and hit golf balls. I could go out and hit a 9-iron. You know, when we got into golf later and our dad moved in, we'd go out and hit golf balls out there. And it was like having considering we lived in, the middle of a small town, the fact that we had this huge piece of land that we could just like use for ourselves was pretty magical as kids. It was our sand lot. We fucking like, one time we hit a baseball into the neighbor's porch and like he was scary and old and shit, and like the movie. Playing Ken Griffey Jr. baseball, watching Ken Burns baseball miniseries on VHS from the library. Watching it on TV or whatever. I don't know if I ever actually watched baseball. Like a lot of this shit, I feel like I'm more just interested in, I don't know, doing it myself and like reading about it than like watching professionals do it. And I don't know. So that was the 90s. So yeah, then later, probably it started when I was like in 7th grade, 97, 98, 99. That's when they broke ground on Ray Buck, where they turned the electric field into a fucking baseball field in like a park. So there's like a playground and like a fucking baseball field, with a fence, and they do a lot of softball leagues there and shit. So that would have been nice when we were fucking 8 years old, but I don't know if I ever actually even really played baseball on that field, to be honest. By that point, we were in high school. I think around, probably 99 or so is when they finished that shit. I mean, we watched the World Series and shit. I remember the Phillies being in the World Series. And like I said, the Indians. The Indians broke our hearts a number of times. They blew it in the World Series. They lost to the Braves a bunch of times. David Justice hit that home run. Broke my heart. Like, the Indians still haven't won a World fucking Series. Because of their racist name. I mean, it's that simple. Change your fucking name. Maybe you'll win. Until then, they're just going to be tortured. The white settlers of this stolen land. The karmic revenge comes in little spoonfuls every year. Oh, you think you're going to win? Oh, you're going to be in Game 7 of the ALCS and you're going to blow it. Or you're going to lose to the Cubs, who haven't won a World Series. They're the only team who hasn't won it longer than you. You're going to lose to them in Game 7. Bill Murray will be there. I watched that on fucking TV, too, and I was in San Francisco in this fucking hot pot restaurant. Watching the Indians blow the World Series again. It's a running theme. I don't know. So being a Yankee, it's like I'm trying to accept being a winner. Being a Cleveland fan my whole life. Once again, it's about relishing the kind of acrid sarcasm of artfully blowing it. Losing in the most excruciating, pleasure-denying, just let yourself have it. I don't know. How do you just let yourself win? When is it going to come together for me? 427, The Failure Academy. It's dark inside God's fist. Balsa wood, lingonberry, yellow AA batteries. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Beat City downtown. That's where I'm living. Beat City downtown. My Nissan becomes a Ferrari. Axe body spray for sale in the deli. Raul Julia appreciation post. This one goes out to Raul Julia. M. Bison. Moon over Parador, blonde. Adam's Family. 3 Penny Opera, Mac the Knife. Othello. Will sex hang in the air as I sit in my favorite bar? Only time will tell. $4.26, oversharing. It will occupy an honored place in the home. Water's on sale, 99 cents a gallon. Donovan, patron saint of our art. The pandemic has made me bitter. The rights to my play paid for my drugs. Ode to Ted Jones. At war with my peer group. Staircase quarters with Bird. Amsterdam Barrett. Commuting Paris, Seattle, Timbuktu. Red Drum. Orange Pinwheel. Hudson, Washington. Le Sang des Poètes. Semper Fi. $4.25, shitting blood. Public secret, I have internalized Wayne's World. Private property. Bored and sober, the doors of perception are not wide enough. Obsessed with a great refund, somewhere else is just getting started. Sleeping at 140 miles per hour. For a living, I take care of my friends. $4.24, high as fuck on life. Hart Crane is New York School, so's Whitman. The original Ashbury, all-inclusive. Fragments on tablets outside our purview. All the women in their masks, looking so fine. $4.23, the prank economy. Are you a part of the prank economy? Feast your eyes on these falling bolts of silk. The last great toy that was made was the wagon. Flying buildings, walls smack you upside the face. A bum laughing at a private joke searches the trash for food, checks the lid on styrofoam coffee cup, sees it's empty, laughs. Theater de lis. Undercover deities. Like a flower at night, lights up the compressing dark. We're Bedford dead ends at Christopher. I keep waiting for my favorite restaurant to come back. $4.22, the traditional avant-garde. Hold on loosely, colorful gloom. Heat lamp. He loves his heat rock. She glows in the dark. Barefoot Contessa. Beverly Hills dentist, therapeutic partying. Gonna turn on the stereo generator. 420 Heathers. Elbow reacting time. Spoon River awakening. Schwimmer. Not that bodacious. $4.21 Clean laundry. Clean laundry. Brown mug. Compost in the trash. We agree Kenny G is made by CIA agents who receive many unsolicited manuscripts. For April 18th, Cross Pounder. Sculpt. Thermage. Fractional hair removal. Opaquely typical. Big unit. A flourishing of rechargeable PA systems. April 19th, Inoculated City. In bullet time. I'm looking for meaningless sex. Medicine audience. Reading my notebooks out loud in parks. Receipt sips. Street hassle. Burn one in front of Wallace Stevens' house. By the police hotel. Palo Alto East. Too bad it rained on that chair. I would take it home. Narcissistic pretty boys who thought they could do everything. Bogdanovich neckerchief. That's why all those weird, age-inappropriate jokes about the beard. Keith Richard is the only Stone who plays on Happy, his first lead vocal. Keith wrote Ruby Tuesday, which my dad lived above when my mom and him met. By the police hotel. Palo Alto East. That's about this neighborhood, this fucking, I don't know, this building right here is super beautiful. It was like a seminary or something. The one across the street from where Jack Kerouac wrote On the Road. And I'm walking by it the other day, and now it's like this like fucking like boutique hotel or something. And it feels like a police department. It feels like, I don't know, Scotland Yard or something. So it feels like a police hotel. And then Palo Alto East. I don't know. I think San Francisco might be the new center of the world, to be honest. Like, all of the tech is there. And I would say that their vibe is having more influence on this place now. Now that all of their people are here, this feels like Palo Alto East. This feels like a Facebook campus or a Google campus. It has that kind of like banal California, like beige computer, like laid back and chill and sort of like maybe a little bit hippie inflected, but also like super corporate and Asperger's-y. Not to, you know, say that like it's a bad thing or anything. It's like that show Silicon Valley. It's like all of those people live here. You know, it's like that fucking caricature of types populate. You know, when I'm walking by restaurants, that's not everybody, but like the younger people are that, or they're finance, which is just like a variation of that. They're both just ways that like they've sealed up capital and sealed up all the transactions of everything. You know, every transaction takes place through your fucking phone now. It's all quantified. It's all, even emotional things, emails, likes, texts, swipes, what you're thinking, what you're curious about. It's all kept in their server, and it's all predictive at this point. We're just playing it out. We're just working for, their predictive actions of us at this point to fulfill that shit and just, transact the money, transact the economics of it. Man, I want my kombucha. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Pineapple. Golden pineapple. This is delicious. It's only 5% juice, though, so I don't know what the fuck is in it. Probably water, mostly. But it does have a lot of sugar. That's probably why I like it so much. Yeah, it's just like whenever I've been, or when I go out around here, it's either, once again, kind of post Friends, post Sex in the City, post How I Met Your Mother finance people, the Taylor Swift people, the state school, world travelers, road rules, real world, challenge, kind of type A people. They're everywhere. They own the West Village. They own the East Village. And then the students and shit who are totally spoiled as well. There's probably some cool people that go to NYU. I mean, I've met a lot of people that I got along well with that went to NYU. But it's also somewhat open and kind of a con. I don't know. It's got its own system. That's what I'm seeing now. Is like the avant-garde and the kind of the hippie, or I don't know, the different artists who succeeded became professors there, more or less. I mean, they're seated in downtown Manhattan. It's like you're either going to be working at Columbia or NYU if you're at the top, pretty much, I would say. If you want to be in New York City, which most people at their careers want to be here at a certain point. And the people who are, a lot of the super heavyweights, like they have a permanent teaching position at Columbia or some, But, I don't know. I think they just kind of, they passed on those values to a lot of rich people's kids. And those people in turn, I don't know, think that they're super edgy and have the drop artistically in a certain way. And it's like, well, it was just kind of systematized. Like NYU kind of systematized the avant-garde in New York in a weird way, I feel. Like all of those people, not that Laurie Anderson taught there or anything, but theater-wise, I'm pretty sure Richard, I'm not really that big into, I don't know that much about it, but I think that downtown experimental theater people, a lot of them taught at NYU, I don't know. Should I start further back and read to the front rather than start far away and then... yeah, I don't know. I feel like this chill beach vibe, or I don't know, it's just the California vibe. But the Palo Alto, the kind of very like Burning Man, corporate retreat, but like melded with like programmer fucking brain. It's not, it's like, it's a bunch, more and more I see these people, what I see when I walk around and I look into, and this is not only in New York, although it is in New York, but in Ohio, wherever, you walk around, you look into people's apartments, what you see is you see a couch and you see a giant fucking TV. You see like a literal home theater. You see a fucking projector. If not a massive flat screen, that it's like that kind of is taking up precedence. It's like if in this fucking room I just had a giant fucking TV on this wall that just like my entire life was just like me in the couch, centered at the fucking TV. I'm on my phone. I've got the little screen. I've got the big screen. The content, is being intravenously fed to me. And, like, especially in these village apartments. Like, walking around the West Village. Like, the other day, I'm walking in the West Village. This beautiful... It's right where the Theater de Lis is. The Lucille Lortel Theater. It's Playwrights Walk. It's the only monument in New York devoted to playwrights. And it's all these stars with playwright names. Fucking Eugene O'Neill or Mamet or whoever. And I'm walking past it. It's a beautiful street. It's Christopher Street. And I look in this apartment. Beautiful apartment right on the street. I'm sure it's $5,000 a month, And what do I see? I see 3 dudes, South Park bros, playing fucking Xbox on a goddamn flat screen TV. Sitting around with their controllers. Like it's a dorm room. Like they're still in college. Except they're programmers or whatever. I mean, maybe they're still in college, I guess. But like, goddamn. Like, that's depressing to see. It's like, this is the West Village. This is one of the most beautiful seaside enclaves in the world. And it's certainly a unique cultural locus and sort of entanglement. And it's been completely vacuumed of that and given over to the kind of bland renovation. This was the other thing, is up until recently it was incentivized to renovate these places, because like if you had a rent controlled apartment, the landlord, when they got, when the tenant died or whatever, they could renovate it and spend a bunch of money to modernize it, and then they could charge more rent. It justified them charging market value because they had spent all this money on it, supposedly improving it. The government incentivized this. They said if this was the only way you could raise it. So with rent control apartments, they're way under market value. The law was you could only raise it to proportionate amount to the amount that you had invested in it. So they went into all these beautiful old apartments that are incredibly well built and incredibly functional, and they destroyed all of them and put in a bunch of bullshit, new countertops and just new everything and just garbage, improving it. And then they were allowed, we charge $2,500 a month now because we put all this money into it. So the government was incentivizing it, is the point. They changed the law a couple years ago. So now they can't do that anymore. So they're not necessarily incentivized to destroy the interior, but that's just the taste these people have. They're not coming into this with like, wow, I want to live in the West Village because it's like got all this character and like all the, original. It's like, no, we'll buy this townhouse. We're going to bust the whole fucking thing out. We'll do what we want with it. We're going to bust the back out and we're going to put some kind of crazy, like, water fountain garden or just bullshit. You know, these places have been there for 100 years plus, and they modernize them, and it just kills it. You know, like, they were well made. Preserving them is far more valuable than updating them and modernizing. I feel that's what they're trying to do with the city a lot. They don't want to get caught in the past. They want New York to stay competitive and I'm sure there's a lot of business people that are pushing for that. You know, it's important that they make this place like Dubai. That's what these other cities are doing. You know, that's what the other world. I saw Beijing has more billionaires than New York City now. They just surpassed New York or something. It's like New York's trying to keep up with that. You know, they're trying to, but it's like, it is a unique geographical thing where, like, the only way they can build new shit is to bulldoze the old shit. So maybe there will be a day in New York when everything is super new and it's 100 stories tall or 50 stories tall or whatever. You know, that's what fucking Hudson Yard is about. And modernizing it, being competitive, staying. And you know, they really have invited these tech companies into the city in a surprising way because, you know, they really fought against it in Queens. When they tried to do that Amazon warehouse, they beat it. But then in Manhattan, they welcome it. It's like, yeah, sell the fucking building to Google. Yeah, sell the post office to Facebook. So, like, literally, I'm sandwiched between the two. The Google building is a couple blocks south, and then Facebook just bought, I think, the post office across from Madison Square Garden. That's going to be their campus. So they want to put their workers into Hudson Yard. You know, like, if you work at Facebook, you're a couple blocks from there. There's fucking Whole Foods there. And same thing goes down here. You know, it's like there's Google. All their employees can live in Chelsea, the West Village, the East Village. They've just taken it over, you know. That's the market, you know. I mean, that's happening in every fucking city. Tech, I guess, does feel more like some kind of, like, locust invasion because it feels like a separate reality and, like, almost like a, you know, it's like a specialized, you know, it's like a chamber that a lot of it can't, you know, the idea is like, oh, well, we don't, you know, if you're a programmer, you can sort of be actively involved in creating it, but the rest of us are just kind of like, we're just at its whim. If you're not involved in that world, you're being left behind in a lot of ways because, like, everything is occurring through the tech. Everything is occurring through the phone, primarily, first and foremost. The transactions, the fucking, you know, where you show up in Google results is going to completely affect whether your business is going to succeed or not. Now, if you're not in the top fucking page or whatever in the first few results, like, so, like, it's just blanketing every city. It's moving into every fucking town. There's servers and the Bitcoin thing. Did I talk about how it just uses shitloads of power? You know, it's just completely internet hype bullshit. You know, I don't know, for whatever reason, when something hits on the internet, like it's some new crazy novelty, it just, everybody goes for it big time. You know, like, the internet just, like, is good at hyping trendy bullshit, like planking. Was there shit like planking? I imagine there was. 50 years ago. I don't know. There's kind of a stupidity inherent in a lot of the like meme-ification of things. Fidget spinner. I mean, shit like that happened before, fidget spinners and things, but like, you know, the anti-vaxxer thing is shit like that just completely has credence because it's controversial and it sounds like a good story. Like, yeah, there's fucking chips in the vaccine and 5G or whatever. Like, the tech people seem like business people. They don't seem like ethics or artistic people at all. Like, whenever Google or any of the tech, whenever I've seen interactions, I mean, even like look at San Francisco and Burning Man culture and all of that. It's just tacky. Like when tech people get rich and blow their money on like trying to be, you know, it's like the Matrix Reloaded or something. You know, it all just looks like some like ridiculous Coachella rave or something. You know, it's really just frat culture and finance culture, but it's just a different, it's that side of the brain. It's not bohemian or artistic. You know, the earlier tech stuff felt like it had a certain strain, like Steve Jobs, right? I was thinking the other day, like Steve Jobs, these fucking computers, you know, they were designed to turn us into artists like the art, you know, GarageBand, you can record music. iMovie, you can edit movies. Your iPhone has a fucking HD camera in it, you know, like the computer is a studio for creative expression. That was Apple's bent. You know, Microsoft is more like Microsoft Office. They're business. They're pragmatic. They're, you know, you can do coding and games. They're glitchy as fuck. I mean, I always hated PCs. If you wanted to do anything like video editing or GarageBand, you had to get some funky. It just didn't work as well. You know, iMovie came with the fucking computer, and it worked pretty well, considering like that. You could tell that was Steve Jobs. I think that's good, even though Apple kind of has this like Orwellian hegemony or like uniform cultish brand. You know, the cohesion of their branding is kind of fascistic. But they're fascist creatives, you know, like they were trying to turn everybody into thinkers and artists and blah blah blah. Like the posters, like the Apple Think Different posters with John Lennon and Mahatma Gandhi. And like, I don't know, they kind of succeeded. Anybody who's in the creative, you know, anybody who's like a video person or everybody records music now, like I'd say Apple was good at putting the tools in our hand to make. Think about how hard it was. I mean, I've never made a fucking movie that wasn't on a computer. I've done some music stuff that wasn't quite on a computer. Well, I've used VHS. Okay, so that's not exactly true. But, like, I've never done film anything. So it's like, the fact that this stuff is democratized and available for everybody for free, more or less, because it's digital, like, that did kind of change creativity. Maybe it diluted it. Maybe that's why all music sucks now and why all guys are just lame acoustic guitar, garage band, limp dicks. But for better or worse, thank Steve Jobs for that. For our garage band masterpieces. Everything's got that, like, awful amp simulator buzz of garage band. Every recording that any of my friends has ever made. Got that digital garage band fry. Thank you, Steve Jobs. I don't know. I don't think GarageBand, it didn't seem to lead to, like, a nation of one-hit wonders like the garage bands of the 60s. You know, I can't even, I mean, is there even an example of a garage band recording that was like a hit? The radio just doesn't work that way anymore. Everything's kind of bought and paid for. It's all sewn up. There's no way in. See, look, right there. That person's watching this huge fucking flat screen TV in their apartment that costs $10,000 a month with a gorgeous view. Like, if that's what you're going to do, don't live in one of the most beautiful, interesting places in the world. Go live in Columbus, Ohio. I support it 1,000%. If Columbus wants to be the tech capital of the world, that would make sense. Because it's an ugly, horrible, flat, uninteresting landscape. And if you hate the outdoors, it's a great place to stay inside all the time and never really see the sun at all. So if you're a computer person and a video game person, that's kind of great, actually. You know, if it's gray 300 days a year, you're like, oh, fuck it, I don't need to go outside. It's cold and depressing. I'll just bask in the cathode ray sunshine, watching ESPN and playing Call of Duty and I don't know, what, Fortnite? What's the newest thing? Angry Birds, that shit's already, like, they already made 2 movies of that. I'm way behind. Angry Birds is still like, whoa. This is like new technology. To me, I don't play any of that shit. I think I maybe read that already. Going Commando. This was Duke Ellington birthday broadcast. Going Commando. Duke introduces La Chinoiserie with a quote from Marshall McLuhan, possibly scraping off a tiny bit of the charisma of trains. Rice noodle salad with chicken, which I didn't order, and large bin of fish sauce, delicious in Bryant Park. Old for me now, as my youth, my family not understanding why I dunk it in gasoline and light it on fire. In this terribly overbearing city, it powers my dreams. I can get that just walking around Madison Square Garden like an ant. I feel huge, massive insignificance, one of the prime creatures in this paramount epoch in the timeline of human empire, living in Rome, living in hanging Babylon, the Tower of Babel, Sodom and Gomorrah rolled into one. Invite her over to watch VHS and smoke. Need to retrieve projector chair and generally all belongings before the next billing cycle from a truck. Those delicious noodles I'd go back to today if they were near my house. Stuck in thimble collections, expert quilts. I want to NFT myself and burn away the details. Now everything's about NFT. Frankly, Fabulous is an NFT. First, you get the money. Then, you get the power. Then, you destroy the world. Slowly, for your own extraneous luxury. I smell Brazilian steakhouse. Smells like my 11th birthday. She crushes me with her writing power. I want to activate you as an artist and human being, perhaps another time. Steak smells like it's in a commercial. Outback Steakhouse steak with X grill marks seared in where it spanked the grill. Wrong incoming. I thought the weather would fuck it up. But as usual, these apps are always wrong. Happy birthday, Willie Nelson. Happy birthday, Duke Ellington. Sir Max Supper Club. Duke Max Roach. Charles Mingus. He hangs with the younger cats. Wish I had a kitty. I pout in the shower. Unlike Joubert, I found his journals excerpted and translated by a pre-famed Paul Auster for $3 at Argosy. I treat my friends like artists and artists like friends because they show me a coursing through our existence. All denizens of Manhattan, right-wing growth-stunted man-children, green suits for Halloween. I philanthropize your approach through careful critique all through the night. SantaCon. SantaCon is totally what it is. The first weekend I was in New York, December, well, not the first weekend, but when I moved here in December 2010, or November, I went out to the West Village, you know, where Tavern on Jane is, or White Horse Tavern, the extreme West Village, near the PATH train, near Hoboken. And to my shock, to my horror, who was out and about everywhere? Who were hailing cabs? Who was populating these bars? Santa Claus and Mrs. Santa Claus. But like skanky. Bro, frat bro, finance bro, insurance salesmen, traders, stock people. I don't know what the fuck they do. They're in some kind of financial. Who knows what the fuck they do? I don't know. They're financial something. They count our money and they accrue interest on it and they jerk each other off with it. It's Wolf of Wall Street. They all want to be Wolf of Wall Street. They want to live it up on fucking speedboats and do magnums of cocaine. So there's a lot of that vibe. But like I said, growth-stunted man-children. Like, it's amazing how much of these guys walking around, a lot of them are huge. A lot of them are 6 feet tall or bigger. And yet they act like fucking, like, bratty little kids at church or something. Like, they're kind of, like, laughing and, like, being kind of disobedient. It's like, you are, like, 8 years old. Pollen report. Yeah, SantaCon. It's like, what the fuck? What is this? Who are these people? Like, I don't think I could possibly be friends with anybody that would ever do that or who has ever done that. And yet, they're everywhere. They're succeeding. They're they're multiplying. They're seeding the whole. So they live. Yeah, I guess Hoboken is a huge like bro ass. So I think there's kind of like but it's taken over everything. I mean, SantaCon. I don't know if it really reached out to Bushwick or anything, but like Manhattan, I would say, is SantaCon out. It's been SantaCon, unfortunately. They're permanent. It's a permanent installment. It's like naked Santa. It's, it's plainclothes SantaCon. At all times. It's plainclothes SantaCon. Chronically, We've just got a plague. There's no artists or intellectuals or freaks or weirdos or Bob Kaufmans or Jack Michelins or Leroy Jones or... There's just SantaCon. And big flat screen TVs swallowing people's entire corporate... It's like the TV is just like a big fucking mouth that just like has swallowed your whole body, except for your brain, your head, your little brain in a jar. Let's try. We'll do collaboration houses. Collaboration houses. Catwoman. Reach out and touch faith. Baby's breath. Spraying the window. I'm quoting myself. E. Cummings welcomes me to the village. High as fuck. Robert Duncan narrows his eyes into slits and chokes out the words, I need glamour. April 29th, pollen report. I appreciate that it tries to exist. Emerging from my bunker after the end of the world, I will meet you in the kingdom of my food, aka the refrigerator. Run out of things to say, Sir Duke's achievement is titanic and various. Returning to work, the stack goes on. Yet to visit $250 million Diller Island. Though I've been everywhere around here at least once, 10 to 20 years ago and counting. Algonquin Round Table, Keeps Steakhouse, Avenue of the Americas, FAO Schwartz. My lopped youth saw nothing else at the expense of all-terrain vehicle. Travel is murder. Private college exists and is by definition bourgeois. Summer camp for artists, rescuing you in long texts. Hello, laser. Get from here to there. How long can one go on being utterly useless? My handwriting a figment of your imagination. I can't do anything right. Excited to meet you in person after all this time tomorrow. Having exhausted the forms, no longer burning at the source. Used words, tired sequencing. Shoot the prey as it come to me. Don't wait around all day, but in my deer stand, trying to get a second date. The terminology comes flying back to me. Dimitri Martin working on his book deal, Park Slope Tea Lounge. She's his editor. Probably wants her, though I did. So I've got that to hold over. These girls just care about my best friend's wedding. It's been teasing thunderstorms all day, and I didn't know quite how to respond. Chalk that up to the cost of doing business. Truth is piling in the kitchen. Books arrive at my door. A paradise of penguin orange. No freebies. Well paid for with your tax dollars. We are serious about your fair share. Salmon and capers is what I had for lunch, breakfast, and dessert. Sunflower seed, butter dark chocolate cups. Holding on too long, my family hates me and abandons me as I abandon them. This work is exercise, useless even to me, but for its strengthening. April 30th. Fabulous rides again. I've been enjoying the conveniences of a walkable city. Rented and aged permanently. Chairs flipped by the wind on those graves. Rain holds off. Coming close, but we power through. Projector craps out. Put up and take down the screen a few times. Everybody's cold. My thin pants on metal chair. Wrong week to stop wearing underwear. Post-pandemic new beginning. We drive in the churchyard. May 2nd, Sidney Pollock. Peter's telling me about his class in Casablanca. Unlike Joubert, Argosy Bookshop, Peter Bogdanovich's neckerchief. May 3rd, that's today. Ernest goes to jail. Good paying job. My mom cancels me. In the climate changed heat, summer has no distinction. April 15th, one-man show. Where do the outsiders go? Rick Steves Europe. April 16th, April rain. There were a number of red flags. Our thrash as thrilling as our array. The waiting list is the easiest part. Midnight perambles. Time to shine. April 18th, SM57. People with fabulous apartments in the village filled with giant HD televisions I can see from the street. Yuppie fucking scum. April 11th, cinematic memory. The thunderous applause of silence. Everybody wants to be toll-free. I dream big spender. Write a friend clatter. Nuance menace. My performative non-participation on Instagram. April 12th, Automobile High School. I'm in the Jab Club. Vaccine experience is like an acid trip turned inside out. Sold our souls to social media, cities, and money. April 13th, I walk through the West Village of life, still 10 years round. The Death Meditations. A needle will kill you. April 8th, Toby Dammit. Watching Alan Delon on TV in daylight. Lectured on Dante by Roberto Benigni. Perry Street, my backlot. Disintegrating protagonist. As the daytime is late night to vampires and insomniacs. Oh yeah, I should do this one. The Apartment Tapes. This is the Buddy Holly tribute. The Apartment Tapes. Raindrops fell into my tears. Buddy Holly lived at the Brevoort on 5th Avenue. Maybe at the same time as Jim Brody, who I think grew up there, just north of Washington Square Park. A building I remarked on first seeing it, summer 2004 visit to New York. The heat, the grit, overlapped in the fountain bowl. Bringing his guitar, digging poetry and jazz, moving to New York City with his band to be a part of the scene. Buddy Holly writing in a notebook, crying, waiting, hoping. Hearts that are broken, love that's untrue. These go with learning the game. He liked the creative attitude of his building, and that his neighbors did not look askance his intercultural marriage with Maria Elena, like they did in Texas. Buddy Holly, 3 chords schematically placed with compressed precision. Greenwich Village notebook poet, hanging all night at the 5 spot. He died too soon, one of us. Buddy Holly, not fade away. Economies of silence. Taste electricity. Meet refractors. Adoring X mantra. Sail your surveil. Recordable cassettes. Lady Day birthday broadcasts. My life has been a pleasant series of early retirements. Unemployment pension buying me a penis. I won't forget this dinner when I'm through. April 7th. Load bad. Low-cost, high-internet ant programming. Sometimes it's good to be a small fish. I'm beginning to learn how to use the letter G. I'm playing words with G in them like a new chord I've learned. Gargantuan rough laughter, lasagna the going rate, dragons, guilds of happy bog people. An essay in Communist Party, other gaggle had simply gone hip. A young Vaughn when society went boom. You'd love to see it. When they say you're boon, blues, and bright, trying on green galleries of haughty Gothic cathedrals, meaning to get off the bus and cough for the courtesy of other riders, guzzling bags of gas, singing glues, and dying whenever some guys new go beg ogres grasped by golden fountains, eggs of great terriers, agog at low-income goners, in games agog at grimy times, a plague of orange groves, gray decibels toggling late innings, agony, glug, 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 slugging it out with ghostbusters, gang warfare, and gratuitous violence. It all is. Greens fees over hills, gutter sunshine, guitars, gumball machines, times high-power engines, groaning throttle and throat growl, guttural gifts of gab, strange singular angles, weep over grove, from heaven to my galoshes, garbage trumpets leaking home, haranguing likely stories, giggling hesitations, give it up, rust trust gazelles, trigger glitter, glitz and glamour, cling to Godzilla. My Lanta moves over the tingling tang, a language of grotesque leanings, leaning at lungs groggy with gales of good news, something among them jumping at Greenwich Mean Time, the average of longitudes growing on course at whatever warns groups grateful to Grover Cleveland's Grater's ice cream. April 6th, How a Star is Born. Spare libraries. Mono-000. Raven's red lipstick. I am non-fungible token. Ah, Minter Sting. I drove my body like a used car. Drove my body like a used car. April 5th, normal motor automatism. Bathwater Theater. My life and loves in Greenwich Village. Walk through. He helps me watch shows. Biryani. Just another manic Monday. Luxuriating in huge space. Refill the Bella. April 4th, at home in the center of the world. Writing and eating and sleeping and walking and talking. The self, which is a depot of tragedies. Spaggio's influence. History's greatest hits. April 3rd, on our way back to the night. She definitely has Genghis Khan's DNA. Upon meeting any one person, I can discern within seconds whether or not they have Genghis Khan's DNA. The fire uses the fire escape to escape. Both of my dads were homesick veterans. January coming to a hard close. Night in the city. We were, I am, they are. The spirit of football. Here is a match truck out on the prowl. The tree was loaded with pins. Writing feels like total hard work. Introductory trip to Manhattan.